Okay, let's just get this straight. Let's just get this out of the way straight away. I'm not a Quechua or Decathlon fanboy. Yes, I do feature a lot of their tents on this very channel, but off camera, I often say, oh, these are like tents of the 21st century. And last night was even more reason that I hadn't even conceived of before. Last night, I'm in the garden. The house is there. I could quite easily have gone in the house, but let's just say, for example, that I could have been at a campsite. Last night we had a good 30 to 40 mile an hour winds coming through. This tent was shaking, a little bit like this. And black technology. It's raining a little bit. This is... Wow. Wow. This is one of the downsides of camping. And as you can see there, it was literally blowing a gale. I got a horrendous amount of sleep. I am tired. I am looking at you right now and I'm going, I'm so tired. I didn't get a good quality night's sleep. So if I'm at a campsite, what am I going to do? Am I going to walk around like a aimless zombie all day? Well, that's me normally, but you get the gist. I'm not going to enjoy my stay at my location. I'm not going to be going exploring, go, oh, let's go to such and such today. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, I really didn't sleep very well last night. Now, I remember years ago, I went with family. I took my mum and dad down to Cornwall, a place called St. Merran. Absolutely lovely little place. But the weather was kind of hot, a bit humid. Now, we had a tent, not fresh and black, no blackout bedrooms, none of that whatsoever. And I remember my dad, I can remember it like it was yesterday. He said, I'm going to get some sleep. I didn't sleep very well last night for whatever reason. And literally when he woke up, and if you're eating, I'm sorry, but the perspiration on his head was just like, he even had to put a towel on the pillow. It's like, really? So you want to keep a tent nice and cool and say, we don't know what Mother Nature's going to throw us. We don't know what's going to happen during the night. Is there going to be a party outside? Is there going to be a dog barking? It's like, oh, really? And you just can't sleep. So what's your alternative? Either walk around like a zombie or have an afternoon nap. So yes, you've got your blackout bedroom. Great. And this is one thing, and no disrespect to any tent manufacturers out there who have, oh, look, we've got a blackout bedroom. Isn't it lovely? Yes, you're right, it is lovely. But it's only a half thought out measure about improving the quality of the camping experience. Because this white exterior, this fresh and black technology, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. That's not something that I would say lightly. And no, I say I am not a Quechua or Decathlon fanboy. I just appreciate technology, innovation that makes things better. And this certainly does. If I was at a campsite, I guarantee I'd be back in there straight away, getting a good quality sleep, so the fact I can go out a little bit later on. Now the weather's improved and it's not blowing around like it was earlier, I'd be back in there, getting that quality sleep, just catching up on a few Zs. Because in the end of the day, this technology really is, it's great, it really does. Now, I've been in this tent not long ago and we had really high temperatures. And I measured it against a non-fresh and black tent. Now, admittedly, it's not the same size, but it was a Quechua one. So I used the Quechua Arpanas Fresh and Black 4.2, which is the tent I'm in right now. And I think the temperature is around about 20 degrees. So we're going to have a look at the temperature here. I'm going to try and focusing on that, and the temperature there is about 19 and a half, almost 20 degrees centigrade. So I hope you can see that. So as before, we had the door shut. We're now going to go in the tent. Bella, not now, not now, wait. Oi, out. She loves tents. And she goes straight in. Come on, out. Good girl. So in this tent, we have now got a reading of, oh, it's really hot in here. You can actually feel it. Oh, it's, yeah. I'm just focusing on that. That's reading about 26 degrees centigrade. 26 in here. And it's really oppressive, very, very muggy. That's almost 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And we'll go back outside again. Now these were calibrated beforehand, before we did this test. That's 26 degrees. And outside, we're about 20. Then I used the Quechua MH100 two-person tent, which is like a grey sort of dome type tent, and I put the thermometer inside and outside simultaneously. So it was a like for like comparison on the same test, and it was about 8 to 9 degrees hotter in the non-fresh and black tent. Now, have you ever had that situation where maybe it's in the middle of summer and you are baking, it's been baking hot day, heat rises, you walk upstairs to your bedroom, like, you wake up the next morning, you feel absolutely drained because of the amount of heat. We want to be a little bit cooler during the night. You don't want the temperature, the radiators in your house to be at full blast during the night. You want it to be a little bit cooler. And I say, if you're going to have a sleep in the middle of the day, because maybe the weather turns nasty, maybe something else happens, a sleep in the middle of the day is what's needed to recharge your batteries. So yeah, I have done back-to-back comparisons. I have personal experiences of it in both the fresh and black technology, where recently I was at Riddingswood Holiday Park. It was 30 degrees. I came in here, slept down, and I had just over an hour's sleep. And I didn't even know when I woke up that I'd actually been asleep. And I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my, wow, where's the last hour gone? And that's because I had the dark bedroom, which is great. That's one measure. But also as well, this technology to keep the tent cooler, or at least not increase the temperatures that you would get on a normal traditional tent. As I said, not a Quechua fanboy. If another tent manufacturer brings out a tent of a similar sort of specification where you've got white exterior, but maybe like to differentiate from Quechua, they've got, I don't know, different colour, a secondary colour. Now Quechua use sort of teal or turquoise and beige. Maybe if they bring out like a red accent, or I don't know, something else that differentiates their brand, I would look at their tent in a heartbeat. I would possibly going out and purchase that as well. But they're not. They're just bringing out a tent with a blackout bedroom, and usually it's with a dark green or a dark blue exterior. And by that, what is it doing? Have you ever been out on a hot summer's day and you have changed clothes, or maybe the weather's been constant for a week, and some days you've gone out in lighter coloured clothing and other days you've gone out in dark coloured clothing? The temperatures remain the same, but I guarantee the fact that when you've gone out in the darker coloured clothing, that the temperature feels like you're absorbing all the heat and it feels a bit more uncomfortable. The lighter coloured clothing just takes the edge off, and that's exactly what this does. It feels like you are walking into shade on a hot summer's day, and you know, like where maybe you're like, oh, I'm in the shade, it's so hot, and it just feels better. It just flicks a switch, and that's exactly what it does in here. It does, by the name says, it feels fresher in here as it would in a normal traditional tent where it feels humid and, oh, you know, you sort of go in, you go, oh, it's like walking into a greenhouse, and that's not comfortable to sleep in. So you're not going to get a good, comfortable night's sleep, and then you're going to be walking around like a zombie. Now, I walk around like a zombie at the best of times, but more so when I'm in a tent that is not like this. So there we go. Yes. Do I love the fresh and black technology from Quechua? Yes. I love the innovation. I love the thought process that Quechua or Decathlon have certainly put into their tents. And I highly, highly endorse them. I personally, for me, a large tent or a heavy tent which you are going to take to a campsite, this is like, it's got to be this, or this sort of technology. If you're going to be going wild camping, you are going to have to set up late at night and then leave first thing in the morning. You're not going to be susceptible to the elements of the daytime, so you're not going to have an afternoon sleep in that. Maybe if you go to a campsite, yes, you will. In fact, highly, you will. But if you're going to be going wild camping, this doesn't really apply to you. But campsite camping, 100%. So there we go. That's my reasons why I love the Quechua fresh and black technology. My next tent will have this, because I predominantly do campsite camping. I've got tents for wild camping, but for campsite camping, without a doubt. So there we go. There's my reasons. Have you got a Quechua fresh and black tent? Do you enjoy it? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. These are just my opinions that I formulated over the many years I've been camping and putting science and technology and merging it all together. And I say I had no intention of making this video whatsoever. I said last night on my live feed there won't be a video until Saturday, and then I went to bed at 11 o'clock in there, slept in there, trying out a bed which I'm thinking about updating. It's one I've used once in 6 years. I'm rather ashamed of that. But yeah, it is actually a proper camp bed rather as opposed to an air bed. So I came out here last night to try that, and as a result of that I didn't get a good quality night's sleep, and realised just how much important this fresh and black technology is. So there we go. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking, leaving a comment and subscribing, and I hope to see you again in another video. Anyway, I'm really tired. Thankfully the weather is improving, so I'm going to get some shut-eye. So thank you very much, take care of yourselves, and I'll say good night. I'm so tired. Ah.